First, though, let's tackle on with the top story today, the proposed route for the new high-speed rail line that's been moved further away from Brackley and the villages nearby. The height of the line running from London to Birmingham will also be lowered to reduce the noise of the trains. The route will still clip the edges of Chipping Warden, near Banbury, but now the plan is to take it past the village through a tunnel. Nigel Gallately is the chairman of the parish council and gave his reaction to today's announcement.
They're proposing, in the sort of information that we've seen, that it would be a little bit deeper and therefore they'll be able to fill it in over the top. So from our point of view, it would disappear into the hill a quarter of a mile away and reappear a quarter of a mile the other side, and Chipping Warden would be on top of it. I'm of two minds. I don't know what impact the tunnel being underneath the sort of Chipping Warden would actually have, but I would prefer, I think, to leave it where it is and have it in a tunnel than have it 200 yards further away.
Are you quite philosophical about this? I mean, the need to have something like a high-speed rail line?
I personally, whether or not we need it or not, I think is open to the future. We don't know what's going to happen. However, obviously from the parishioners' point of view and the people that are directly affected, the amount of disruption and heartache that's been created is amazing. People are distraught. Their whole life savings have just sort of disappeared in a house that's now unsaleable.
Hearing a little earlier on from Nigel Gallately. OK, joining me now on the line is Lizzy Williams. She's walking the length of the proposed route in protest of the project and currently is in the outskirts of Oxfordshire. Hi there, Lizzy.
Hi.
Just take me through your reaction then to today's announcement.
Well, it doesn't really change anything. The communities that are already affected are still affected. All it's done really is move it from somebody's house to somebody else's house within that community. I also have grave concerns about why are we talking about route realignment before the public consultation has even been carried out as to whether we should go ahead with this or not.
So adjustments have been made to that proposed route. I guess, is that a step forward in their eyes?
No, I think they're just trying to mitigate the level of protest that is coming out now. But you have to remember that these people, this is not an IMBY issue. This is an economic issue, an environmental issue. It doesn't provide good value for money for this country. The economic assumptions are that they just simply do not stand up to scrutiny on the number of passengers. 30 trains an hour with 1,100 people on each train. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. When on your intro, I was listening to your program talking about spending cuts, and every bit of the transport budget that's spent on this is going to come out of our existing infrastructure budget. That's going to impact everyone in this country.
Well, one of the greatest complaints to anyone who has had to travel around the UK is congested roads, having to fly to get to a destination which, if you were in France, you would just hop on a train and get from A to B, and the fact that we're considerably behind the rest of Europe on having high-speed rail. This is just progress.
I disagree. The EU directive that said that we wanted an interoperable high-speed network was in 1996. Technology has far outstripped that directive now. If we improve signalling on existing rail infrastructure and invested in what we had, we would be able to achieve almost the same sort of speeds, and it would benefit far more people.
So, ultimately, you think... actually, I wonder, though, if they could prove that it was worth it, would you then say, yes, you don't mind the idea of it, if they could prove that it was worth it?
If I was convinced that the public consultation had been carried out diligently and the public decided that the losses were worth the gains, then I personally would think it was a mistake, but I wouldn't be protesting against the government.
You've been walking the route so far. How far have you got along it? If you're just coming into Oxfordshire, you started in Birmingham.
No, I started in Lichfield because what people don't realise is this proposed route actually finishes or terminates just north of Lichfield in Staffordshire. The Birmingham section is simply a spur off the main line. I'm probably about halfway, but I've been pacing myself a bit too hard, I think, this week, so I'll be slowing my pace next week and spending more time in Oxfordshire and Buckinghamshire.
Well, you're welcome to stay here. We like having visitors. And the stories, have they all been the same right the way along the route? Or have you...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. of loss, isolation, uncertainty, this belief that somebody has worked hard all their life, paid their taxes, struggled, and then somebody just comes and puts a red line on a piece of paper and takes their entire future away from them. And no manners or, just cognizance about the way that these people handled. They have had no notification still today from anyone 6 months down the line.
Lizzy Williams protesting there by walking the route of High Speed 2. Thank you very much.